Welcome back, everybody, to Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Chat Network. I'm your host, Nico, and joining me today, as always, my co-host, Chris. How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. And all you guys out there, if you're from Toronto, you're visiting for Fan Expo, you might see me and Chris out on the floor there. Watch out. We got we got Toronto Fan Expo coming up this week, and that'll be really cool. Will that be your first time at a con there, Chris?
Yeah,
Or at
yeah.
least
First Comic Con Cherry, I guess.
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to doing that, Chris. Yeah. No, I'm
Wrong choice of words.
oh, there you go. That's gonna be the name of the episode for sure now. No, very much looking forward to it. And since it is comic related, I figured it was worth mentioning. So that'll be pretty cool. It's been a while since I've been to a con. It's been a full year. Right? The only one I usually go to is my local con here. But always a fun time. It's good to get out there and meet some creators and pick up some art. And so, yeah, look forward to the episode post con for me and Chris next week. If you want to tune in for that one, that should be interesting because maybe we'll carve out a segment to kind of talk about our experiences there at the con, since it is comic book related. Chris, I know is gunning for that Dolph Lundgren, signature there that he's got going there.
I was looking at some of those signatures. They ain't cheap from some people. Holy smoke.
I don't know if you saw, there was actually a picture circulating on the internet today that I saw of the most recent Mark Hamill pricing for a photo op and for a signature.
Yeah.
Not that he's going to be at this con, but it was $400, I think, for a signature, and then like $700 and $800 for like a photo and like meet and greet type like thing. So yeah, it's expensive, man. Some of these guys do pretty well on the con circuit, right? I mean, it is Luke Skywalker, so even though it's Mark Hamill, he's Luke, so
he's gotta be there with his Jedi costume on.
You're like, who's this Bob?
Yeah, if I paid $800, here, you put on my robe.
I would request for him to be in the Return of the Jedi garb, the black one.
You should have all of them lined up if you're paying $800 for a picture and an autograph.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you are watching this episode on the Late Night Collectors Community YouTube page, it will be shut down in another week. At the end of August, it'll be done. So those videos will not be uploaded there anymore. It'll be over here on the Late Night Chat Network. So make sure you like and subscribe if you like this show. If you follow us here, make sure to check out the continuous episodes every week here on the Late Night Chat Network. And this week, we're going to be talking about the new comics that came out for the week of August 14th, 2024. Spoiler warning, everybody. We are going to be talking about what happens in the books. We're going to be showing off some of the artwork in the books here today. So some things may be spoiled. So if you're worried about that, you can always read your books and then come back and check out these episodes in our playlist and all of our other comics content here on Late Night Chat Network, as well as on the Instagram. We're going to get back to posting those videos here. I already got Chris's for this week, so that's going to be posted to give you a little sneak peek of some of the issues that we'll be picking up week to week in our stacks there. All right, Chris, that all being said,
all right, let's talk comics.
Let's talk some comics. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to pop this can open. There we go. Yeah, cheers. All right, first up on the docket here today, the return of DC versus Vampires with DC versus Vampires World War V #1. Got this Jay Lee variant cover here.
Nice.
And as Chris mentioned, I've been getting more on the whole covers thing like Chris as of lately, last couple of months. I don't know if you noticed, Chris, I've been trying to make the effort to try to get some of these nice covers because it's true. It makes it kind of worth holding on to some of these issues because I do normally get rid of a lot during a purge. And also the nice thing is with most of these guys, as Chris has talked about on the show, is you do get the regular cover inside of the issue as well. Because, there's sometimes the regular cover is really nice too. This has got a nice Otto Schmidt cover, the artist of this series. So yeah, really cool stuff. Anyways, what'd you think of this, Chris?
Yeah, I didn't think this one was too bad. I think we catch up. I don't know if they mentioned how much time has gone by, but I guess it just follows up from the last DC versus Vampires. It looks like there's pretty much 3 factions out there. You have Barbara Gordon with her vampires. There's Damian and his crew, it seems, and then you have whatever humans are left. I think it starts out with with the Lanterns coming back from, I guess, some sort of mission, and they were off Earth, and they kind of even throw a swerve right off at the beginning. You know, you think these heroes that are there are some of the human heroes that are still left alive, and then they kind of take the vampires to town, and it just moves on to other stories from there. So kind of just setting the stage for what's going on here, and I like the way the all the kind of players have been set up so far. So looks, oh yeah, there's some big things happening near the end too. So I didn't think this was too bad at all.
I love this issue. I thought this was I had a good week of comics. I'll start off by saying that. I don't know if I was just in a good mood this week, but it was a very busy week for me, and I really enjoyed my time reading comics this week. So I'll say that right off the bat. Sometimes I get a little hyperbolic on here, and like I hype things up a little bit too much or whatever. You might see some fives in the mix, some 5 ratings here today. I don't know. I already warned Chris. It's been a while though, I will say, because I've tried to tone it down, in a way where it's just like, yeah, I enjoy these things, but I also gotta, rate them accurately. I can't, just give everything I can out these 5s like it's nothing. That being said, this is a really good issue. I really I like the return to this world. Otto Schmidt, I love his art. I think I'm really happy that he stuck around on another installment of DC versus Vampires, because he set the tone for like the look of the book and everything, and it was just a lot of fun. I out of all the Elseworld stuff coming out right now, like we've been, well, I think the only new one is the Batman Kryptonian Age one. Like, obviously, well, even the new Dark Knights of Steel. This is the only one where it kind of still feels true to form, I feel like.
Yeah,
so
following the main story still.
Yeah, and like this kind of DC versus Vampires world reminded me at the best of times like Deceased, which I absolutely loved. Like I thought that was a great series as well. So yeah, this is, I like these high stakes situations where we can see characters get killed. And it's an ever evolving story here. You got this whole thing with Damian and some of the other Bat family members, even though they're vampires, working against the vampires. And there's a great scene in this where they saved a bunch of humans in the back of a truck and but they're like, oh great, you saved us. He's like, I wouldn't say that exactly, but they're still vampires, they got to eat, right? So like I loved that. Like they're like, yeah, we will fight against the vampires, like the bad ones, but guess what, we still need to feast ourselves. So like my men are hungry, we're gonna eat you guys, sorry, like you're still gonna get sacrificed. This is truly a world of vampires at war essentially now. So it's really cool. And the Gorilla Grodd vampire was awesome. Really liked that character, how he's written, how he's drawn. Great stuff. I thought this was a really good issue, and I'm just really happy to be back to DC versus Vampires, because that was a highlight of our first recording days there, Chris, between this and Dark Knights of Steel. I remember those were some books we really enjoyed when they were coming out that first year of doing the podcast here. So this has kind of reminded me of that. What'd you get?
And big turn events too. I think right at the end, they blow up, I guess, I don't know, the castle or wherever Barbara Gordon was staying in.
Yes.
I'm under the impression that she's dead.
Also, there's a Batman now too.
As well. That's a bit of a mystery there. You don't know who that, and like they do reference it that this is a new Batman. So
that's right.
That's something else to look forward to, or a few mysteries they set out there too. So a lot of good things set up here.
Yeah, and like you said, it looks like Barbara Gordon there is dead. It looks like it was the queen of the vampires, and who I guess took out Nightwing there at the end of the last series, right? So I don't know what doesn't look good for her. I'll say that much. She's plummeting down off of that building at the end of this issue, but it was nice to be back, I think, and it didn't lose anything for me in that sense. Great stuff. What'd you give this?
I was going to give it a 4, but I might even bump that up to a 4.25.
I'm going to go 4.5. I really enjoyed this. I thought this was a nice, like I said, return to form, and I hope there's more. This is a 6-issue miniseries, and but if they do the same thing like Deceased, maybe a couple times every year and a half, they come out with a miniseries, I'd be
no question. It doesn't sound like there's going to be many tie-ins to this, so it's a nice self-contained event with a decent story.
Yeah. Next up, we got X Factor #1, the newest in the line of like 50 different X-Men titles that they're putting out here. This is written by Mark Russell, art by Bob Quinn, who I think they've worked together before in different comics. What do you think of this, Chris?
Yeah, I just read this one online. I didn't pick this up, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. This wasn't my favorite story so far out of the X-Men. Well, even I don't know. I gotta like they're all just kind of putting in these basic stories here. They're not really pushing any sort of long-term arc, it seems, unless there's something brewing in there that I don't see. But otherwise, I think what's the deal here? Like they're going to be government agents again this time, and they seem to be all based on the clicks or on social media and how they're kind of manipulating social media to sound good. Or so I don't know. It's a little too much for me. But what did you think about it?
Oh, I absolutely love this issue. We're gonna part ways on this one. Listen, I will say you make a good point in the sense like if this is what you want out of an X-Men team, like something that's a little left of center in the sense that it's not your normal superhero X-Men type team. It's definitely more of a satire. And Mark Russell has done a bunch of comics like that before, mostly for DC Comics. So like, it's kind of what I've come to expect from Mark Russell's writing. Like he makes a lot of books that have a lot of satire in them, a lot of social commentary on stuff from real life. Like you said, it's kind of like with the whole thing about today's technology and how people are popular and stuff like that. And for anybody that was a fan of the book Ecstatics, that came out from Marvel, that was again another weird X-Men book. This is very similar to that in the sense like Ecstatics kind of focused on the celebrity status of an X-Men team. Then they weren't really great heroes. They were shitty people. They were just like, it was a job, right? So like that's what this book is. Like you need to understand that if you're going to like this book on that level, because this isn't an X-Men book like an X-Men book normally is. So like if that's not your type of thing, I get it. But for me, this is a lot of fun. I thought it was so funny when they showed up and they're booing certain members of this team. And then the guy comes out and he looks like Beast, but he's got like some morphing ability. And then he morphed back into like who he actually is. And like everyone just started booing him. And so like things like that, Cameo, that's his name. Yeah. So it just things like that I thought were really funny. I like that they're being led by an organization that's like, basically being paid to like kind of do this and try to get people to like mutants, let's say. But by the end of this, the whole team gets killed. Everyone gets killed on this team. So by the end of the issue, you have it's like a Suicide Squad-esque situation where they're just like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to push out this new team now. And Archangel's well, that's the thing. Angel's laid up, and he says at one point when people don't like him as a mutant, they're like, "Why don't you turn into Archangel?" He's like, "I can't anymore." Like I told you that, right? So like things like that, I just thought were so funny. And like now Havoc is running the team. And if you've been following what's been going on with Havoc, this guy's not right in the head, this guy. So like the fact that he's after everything that's happened to him in the comics as of recently with his dalliance there with what's her name, Madeline Pryor, and being dead and like everything that's happened to Havoc, like now he wants to be given like a second chance or as part of that dead team or whatever. I don't know if he was dead, but I think he did.
Dead X-Men or something.
Yeah. So like the fact now that he's actually the group leader of this team, and he's Scott Summers' brother and all that, so it's kind of cool. Like I that's the team that they kind of give you at the end of this issue, and meanwhile Angel's all laid up in the hospital. So he's with Polaris now. I didn't know that was a thing, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't know because I know there were a couple before.
That's right. Yeah,
but this doesn't really kind of pick up where everything sort of left off in, let's say, in the Krakoa times. It's almost like a whole new reboot. Like I didn't know Angel was back to himself. I thought he was still the Archangel. Like I haven't seen Angel in the longest time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This one just wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean but like I said, I think it's a very different book than what I think people have come to expect, even from an X Factor book for that matter. This is not like your normal X Factor book either. The only thing I had going for me going into this is, like I said, I'm aware of the writings of Mark Russell, like how like the type of stuff that he does with the satirical stuff. So I expected this to be that type of book, and it totally 100% delivered for me in that sense. Like this is the type of book that he's good at writing. And yeah, there's an old woman on the team at the end. I don't know what's going on. They introduced the team at the end. I'm like, I don't know half of these people. So, yeah. So yeah, I loved it. But what'd you give this?
I was giving it a 3.5.
Got a big 5 for me, everybody. Big 5. This is a perfect book. Perfect first issue for me. Great
That
stuff.
was over my head.
For next up, we got Babs #1, a new series from Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows. I just remember we seen him recently on some. He did something else very recently. I can't remember. Maybe something for Marvel. Anyways, he's been working with Garth Ennis. Oh yeah, he's literally doing the Nick Fury book we're reading right now. He must have finished that and moved on to this book. Like he's probably already drawn all that. But yeah, it's the same artist who's clearly likes working with Garth Ennis because he's doing this book for Ahoy Comics, which is a smaller publisher. What'd you think of this, Chris?
I was reading it in there, and the way he writes this one, I guess this is with the handcuffs off or something, because he's like those little captions that he's right at the beginning. I thought that was hilarious. Like I'm still trying. I tried to make a point of remembering one thing, like she was like fair of face and
hold on,
and like like few fucks given or something like that.
Keep talking. He's like trying to like write like a fantasy writer, but it's fucking hilarious. Yeah,
like that was just some great stuff there. And then just it seems like almost like a Red Sonja type story, but it was good. She's there with, I guess, one of her friends. They're in a bar. They have no money, and then I guess they run into whatever the local ruffians, and they take care of business in there. So it's like out of nowhere. Oh, you have the quote there.
Yeah, hold on. Raven-haired, suspicious-minded, wielder of an okay sword, laugher of a laugh so filthy it had turned 10 priests to the study of the porno gospels, fair of face yet shit of luck.
Shit of luck.
A wanderer, a mercenary, a goblin stomper, and a dragon dodger, a lover but a leaver, a breaker of hearts, and a jumper from windows known to the pikemen of the marches as a tall, cool tankard of ale, as bit of an all right to the balladeers of Western Clunge. And it goes on and on and on like that.
Yeah.
But there's some funny kind
After reading that, I was hooked.
Yeah.
I got to read the rest of this, and it was good stuff.
Yeah.
But after reading like stuff like Red Sonja, where they try and sort of write stuff like this, but it's all serious. It's this just hits everything right on the mark. So
okay,
I think it's a great issue.
I'm glad because I kind of like flagged this to kind of give you a heads up about it because I'm a big Garth Ennis fan and I knew that this was going to be more in his kind of like dark humorish type of stuff that he normally does. And Garth Ennis doesn't really written fantasy type books like this, like Barbarian stuff. So I knew when they announced this that this is him going to be him having a little bit of fun with this genre, let's say, or these type of characters, right? So yeah, like you said, it is basically just his take on a Red Sonja-esque character. And it was a hell of a lot of fun. There was a lot of funny moments, but not too wacky to the point where there isn't a good story happening.
Yeah.
But you got the talking sword. She calls it the talking sword shit. There's this hilarious scene where this woman, as they're getting drunk at the bar, talks about after this scenario, this thing she got into with a dragon as she ran into some leper fucks or whatever she calls them. Like, yeah. What does she call them? She calls them leper cunts. Yeah. And you see her like just driving through a bunch of drunk leprechauns. So there's some funny stuff in here. If you guys are a fan of Garth Ennis and his humor, this is definitely something I would suggest checking out. It's not for everybody, his humor. I know that some people don't like it, but I thought this was a lot of fun. A good first issue. I think it's going to be a 6-issue miniseries, so I'm definitely going to continue reading this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What'd you give this?
I give this an easy 4.
Yeah, 4, exactly. Same. Yeah. Yeah, funny stuff there. All right. Next up, we got Sensational She-Hulk #10. Talked a bunch of new beginnings of series here, and this is an end of one here, the last issue of this series of Sensational She-Hulk. What'd you think, Chris?
Well, I figured this is gonna be the last issue. I didn't buy this one either, so I don't feel too bad. But I guess it was a good end to the series. I just have kind of She-Hulk coming in on about, or I guess she's actually joined the Avengers.
Yeah.
And you kind of see what's going on, and she also has to kind of go back to her real life. I guess you find out those roommates that she had or that she was putting up, they finally they have their case with the co-op board, and Jen feels that she needs to be there, so she ditches the Avengers to be there for them, and you find out that the co-op board seems to have a sort of relationship with those, well, especially that jerky guy. That jerky guy. Did you read this or no?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That jerky guy, he did all these sort of things there that helped out, and maybe not with the best of intentions, but it seemed to work out for them. So everything kind of works out there, and I guess the big deal at the end is that Jen decides not to join whatever the Avengers and kind of just hang out, I guess, with Jack of Hearts.
And
But
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. But that was just just good stuff, more of the same. I guess it might have been time for this to end and give us a break for a little while and see where things go. Next time she pops up.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss this book. I thought this was a good end to the series. I think it basically encapsulated what was fun about this series. It was about her life and her trying to find love in her life, as well as her cast of characters that were friends with her in this series. And that's kind of what this was. This was just another hangout issue, essentially, with She-Hulk. And like you said, I think the big to do in this one was to get those guys an apartment in her building, the ones that were living in her apartment there for a while on the couch. And so that ongoing joke was funny, and I like how at the end she, avoided the call to help out the Avengers because she promised Kitty, not Kitty Pryde, what's her name?
Yeah,
Hellcat, yeah, Patsy Walker, that she's going to meet up with her dresses and cake appointment that they usually have, where they dress up and they go eat cake or whatever. And for a moment there, it almost went the other way in this issue. And then she realized that her friends and her, life and like what she's doing right now with her life is more important for once than superheroing. So that was nice to see, because she was, I wouldn't go as far as saying depressed, but she was conflicted with a lot of things going on with her life in this series. So I think that she found some sort of happiness here at the end, as one can do. And it was good. It was she's got a good a bunch of people around her that are her like support group here in this.
yeah.
Series. Yeah. What'd you give this?
Yeah, I give it 3.75. A nice happy ending to a happy story.
I'd even go like as high as a 4 for this one. I did think it was a good end and a good series. I'll miss it. Action Comics 1068, Chris.
Yeah, I think I laid off this one, or maybe I'm still getting it. I don't know, but this is part of their. I guess they have their guest writers for maybe 3-4 issue arcs. And yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this one. This is a story that goes back in the past, and I guess Superman's got sort of these 3 tasks or something that he's got to do to save or prove to the aliens that he's worthy or something like that. So I think the crazy thing is here, I think they get some sort of like an aircraft carrier or something, and then crash it down to the earth, and then Superman has to try and save it. And then all these space aliens are sort of betting on whether he's going to do it or not. The only good thing I liked about this is when he is trying to save this aircraft carrier, they kind of make note that he just can't grab the freaking front of the boat and place it down. He goes, oh, if I grab it here, the whole thing's going to fall apart. And I don't know what he does. They talk something about his cape, and I don't know what it was, but not my favorite issue. And I hope I didn't buy this, but I'll find out when I get there. And I think they do another thing, and then slowly, whatever, Superman sort of turns the tides of everybody betting against him, and they start betting him for him, and he comes out to whatever, happy at the end of the day. So I don't know, nothing to write home about. Yeah, I'd give this a 3.5. And then there's a second story. I forget even what happened there. That's how impactful it was.
All right. Next up, we got Geiger number 5, which I forgot to read. So go ahead, Chris.
Oof. I guess last time we found Geiger, he was in dire straits. There's that electrician guy. I think he's got him all dusted up in boron or something. So, Geiger can't turn into the glowing man. And I know he's got all this dust in there in his lungs. So I think he's trying to reach for. I don't know even why he's trying to reach for those batons. I don't think they can do much. But that electrical guy, he just keeps on zapping the crap out of him. Nate the Knight shows up, and he tries to. It's kind of good to see that Knight character, really step up to try and help out his friend there. He's always seemed to be kind of just comedy or just a crazy sidekick, but he really does come to help. And there, I see him swinging, even though he knows that he's not going to be able to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at one point, he just figures, or whatever, Geiger, whatever his name is, he just tells Nathan, I just free the dog and get out of here. And you really think that Geiger's in big trouble because this guy just keeps on freaking electrocuting him like crazy. I think he throws him up in a bin or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Somehow he finds, the intestinal fortitude to get out of there, and then he just freaking kicks ass. The dog is out, and then I guess they overcome this electrical guy, and then it cuts to a scene there where I guess whoever's trying to hunt Geiger. There's like some American president and some Knights of Camelot there. They're kind of just planning their next moves, and it seems like everybody's after Geiger. So it was good stuff.
What'd you give it?
I'd give this a 4. I'm really liking this Geiger. I wish I was buying it from the beginning.
It's been really good. Yeah, absolutely. Next up, I got Vengeance of the Moon Knight #8. I thought this was done with this issue, but I think it's like maybe going to 10 because it's at the end of this, it was like, oh, next issue. So I thought this would be over now that the event was over. But I believe out of this series, it is going to spin into him again, relaunching Moon Knight in a new direction, Jed MacKay. But yeah, again, this is just another issue that's dealing with the fallout essentially of what happened with Moon Knight coming back to life in the Blood Hunt event. And in this one, he kind of was reunited with his team, the Midnight Mission people that work for him and kind of help protect the city. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what the issue was. It was him reuniting with everybody, catching up with them, seeing how everybody's doing, seeing that there's new members on the team now, and him basically coming back and being like, yeah, I'm back, and let's help save the city type deal, right? So that's kind of the objective of this book, like the mission kind of objective there prior to the events of Blood Hunt. And then there's a teaser at the end of this, of course, where it's just like Khonshu is talking to him again, and he basically says that, you need to go and kill Moon Knight. I think he's referring possibly to some of the other, because they've established in this series that there's other fists, like there's other people that serve a Khonshu as Moon Knight. So I think he's going to make Mark Spector, now that he's back alive, or at least we're led to believe this is Mark Spector, go kill another Moon Knight. So I don't know what's happening there, but that's kind of like the stinger at the end of this issue to see like what's going to happen moving forward here as he's kind of chatting with him. And he kind of did this out on his own. He didn't have anybody else in the room as he's talking to Khonshu. So like he's trying to keep it a secret, it seems like, from the rest of the team. So I give this a 3.5. It was a fine issue. I'm looking forward to see where it goes from here. I've been enjoying Jed McKay's Moon Knight run, but this is, just a footnote, I feel like, in the overall story. Next up, you got Iron Fist 50th Anniversary Special #1. I just took a flyer on this. Check this out. I'm not, as I keep saying, I keep reading them on the show here, huge on anthologies. I thought for what this was, though, this was a pretty decent anthology. I kind of enjoyed every story in it. So that's actually, really good in regards to an anthology, because you usually have a mixed bag of like, you like half of them. Some of them are really good and some of them are really bad. And this was just like, I would say they were all right, like okay stories. And I didn't mind any of them. And I had some other creators that have worked with the character come back and write and draw them. In the first one, it was like a training session with him and Wolverine, essentially. And Sabretooth was actually his first appearance, was fighting Iron Fist, I think, in like Marvel Premiere issue, like a series called Marvel Premiere, that before Iron Fist had his own like series, it was that, and then Power Man and Iron Fist back in the day. So like in this, so he has history with Sabretooth, and in this one, he's teaching him how to basically be prepared to fight people like Sabretooth. And of course, Wolverine has had a lot of experience with him. Misty Knight and Colleen Wing are there, and he's just like in the dojo or whatever there, kind of fighting with Wolverine, and so this was kind of fun. Chris Claremont, of course, longtime X-Men writer, is the one that wrote that first appearance of Sabretooth with Iron Fist, and wrote a bunch of Iron Fist back in the day. So he returned to write this story. It was kind of like him kind of touching on other things he's already done with the character. And then, a couple of other stories. I forgot some of the creative teams on this one, but it kind of like dealt with the other Iron Fist now that there's new Iron Fist. There's like, he has a daughter now, and there's another guy who's an Iron Fist as well now. And maybe this is why they were phasing him out, because I don't know if you guys heard the news. Chris had mentioned it to me. The last story of this issue that was written by Jason Liu, it's not this one. This was actually a party for their community. He's hosting a party in his community with Colleen Wing and what's her name, Misty Knight, come to help out. It's like a cute little story. And then there's this one pager Heroes for Hire story. So these were all fine. Anyways, this last one, he ends up fighting some guy, some enemy of his that's come back from his past, and he ends up the story's being told while kind of mixed in with like scenes of him celebrating. I think it's like his 34th birthday. I think it was like, and he made a point of saying at the birthday party, "Oh, no Iron Fist has ever lived to this age," or whatever. And then you get at the end of the story, you see him getting into this brutal fight. He cuts his arm off. This guy that he's fighting, like, he gets taken off. It gets bloody. It's violent. Then all of a sudden he dies, and it just cuts to a page that says like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss Danny," like the editor talking about like him being dead now. And I'm just like, what the hell? So like, if Chris didn't tell me that, I wasn't sure if I was gonna check this out or not. I mean, like, I like Iron Fist. This was like a one shot. It was on my radar, but I had no idea that story was in here. I don't know why they would put that story in here, though, like celebrating the character and then killing him off at the end. Then the page that's, again, they're putting these scan pages and everything, Chris. Oh. There's a scan page that I didn't actually even put up in the art here, but it shows him, his fist rising up out of the grave at the end. So I'm like, what was the point of this then?
Yeah.
Like, you killed
nothing.
It's stupid. Yeah, like it seems like this is like an issue that's going to be setting up possibly a new direction for this character. I don't know if they're just killing him off now to bring in these other new Iron Fists now, and then they're going to focus on them. So, you know, I don't know. I have other thoughts on it, but I'm not going to get into it here. But it's just, you know, I just seemed very weird that this would happen in like a celebration issue, that they would kill him off. And then not only that, hint at him coming back at the end of the issue.
Yeah, in the same issue, like a page later.
With the scan. Like, if you guys are like, fuck this scanning thing, you missed out on a very big part at the end of this issue if you didn't actually bother with that. So that, I don't agree with that necessarily. That's so stupid that they're doing that. Like, like, you know what I mean? That's a pretty essential thing to witness, like in the same issue where you kill off the character, and also to make it seem like not even important. Like, not only you're just putting this at the end of an anthology issue celebrating the character, you're also then going to tease his return at the end of it to the QR code.
So, yeah, they got to get rid of that scan. But anyways, that's another story.
Yeah. So I don't know. You know what, though? I'll give this a 3.5 because I thought, like, all these stories, like I said, were fine. Like, I enjoyed them. They weren't bad. And that was probably, that story wasn't bad either. It would have just held more weight if it was like in his ongoing series or something like that, if they had one for him or something like that. The fact that they just stuck it at the end of this felt like not important, and they kind of diminished, like, you know, the importance of this character, I felt. But anyways, next up, you got Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, number 3. This continuing the Jerry Duggan series with like 2 warriors in the afterlife that I guess fall in love, and you're starting to see a little bit of that here in this series. One's from the Wild West days, and one's like a samurai, and you know, they both have been trying to like make their way and figure out how this like limbo area that they're in the afterlife basically works. And there's another dude that's like that runs this place, let's say, that they don't agree with the way he does things. And like it seems like they gotta like be, they're damned to like eternally fight, like, I don't know, like the undead or something. But meanwhile, there's a guy that, like, let's say, like, runs the show in terms of like how they operate in this afterlife. So they're not a fan of this guy, and they kind of don't listen to like what he wants in this issue. And the one guy opposes him, the cowboy guy. And as a result, he gets beat up, and it looks like you might be able to get killed in this afterlife. I don't know. But then it takes a weird turn, and this guy gets beat up, and all this guy's like cronies, like all his like guys that work for him here, they go to like do something to the cowboy guy, and all of a sudden they like toss him over like a fallen tree, like he's just bent over, and the one guy pulls down his pants and it looks like they're gonna rape him, like it's like Deliverance or something all of a sudden, like, or like Pulp Fiction. I was like, I was expecting a guy to come out with a gimp suit, and like it was like that. It was like the hillbillies in the bottom of that store. I was like, what the hell is going on here? And then you see like a panel of the guy with his dick out. He's like, like, you know, he's like, I'm gonna rape this guy or whatever now. Like, and it was just like, this is weird. I'm like, what's going on here? But then it's you must have been inspired by Pulp Fiction or something, because then the chick comes out of nowhere, the samurai chick with her sword, cuts the guy's dick and balls off, and then kills him, and then they end up running off somewhere. So now they're just like, and then yeah, so I don't know. It was a weird moment. I did not expect it. And yeah, so that was very strange. But it definitely, I hate to say it, piqued my interest, because I'm like, what's happening? I just did not expect that in this story. So anyways, I give this a 3.75 out of 5. The art's really good, and the story's, I don't know where the hell it's headed, but it's by Jerry Duggan, who I'm a big fan of. So I've been enjoying it. Gotham City Sirens, issue 2 there, Chris.
Yeah, I think it was all over this the first issue. You know, kind of wishing I bought into this, but after reading this, I'm glad I didn't. It took a 180. They laid off all the things that I liked about the first issue.
Yep.
And I know they couldn't keep the momentum. I'm glad I'm out of it. But I think it could have been so much better. But yeah, just garbage.
Can we talk about this garbage artist that they have on this issue too?
Is this a different artist than the first one?
Yes. How are you doing a 4-issue weekly series and they don't have an artist or for the whole thing? Like the bank these issues and then come out with it. Like, what's wrong with you? This artist, the faces on his characters are terrible. Like, I like look how Harley Quinn looks in these panels. Yeah. That's what took me out of it the most. I think it's a garbage story too. Like in the first one, it was like, oh, there's some fun things going on. Maybe they'll go somewhere with this, but it's really spinning its wheels in this issue. Like you said, Chris, I'm upset. I did buy into this. I remember you flip-flopped on this. The first issue, you're like, oh, I should have picked this up. And they're like, oh, actually, no, I'm good on that.
Yeah, you know, maybe they bring that new artist back for the next one. But like you say, for 4 issues that they're going to spin into like a month, you know, they had more than enough time to put this together with one artist. And that's what they should have done. But I don't know, this was brutal.
Yeah. Not good. I agree with you. And the art really was bad too. So what'd you give this?
That's a 3 easy.
Yeah. 3 out of 5. Next up, Fantastic Four number 23. Bring this up here. What'd you think?
Yeah, I was gonna read this because I thought there might be some fallout from the blood hunt there, with Doom being the Sorcerer Supreme. But I don't know if I remember correctly. I don't think they even touched on that in this issue, did they?
At the start, Johnny mentioned how that's what Reed is working on currently.
Oh, okay, that's why he's not there. But yeah, so they didn't really get into that, and I don't know, that kind of took me out of the story and turned into like some Johnny Storm story where I don't know, there's something about some aliens or something. Yeah, didn't they have to shrink down or something in this one too?
They're talking about some sort of like particles that exist in that they've studied, and like they're the same type of things that transform them into the Fantastic Four, but they react differently than that. To like they're not the same. They're the same, but they're not. Like they're different than those particles that they got a hit with or whatever. And yeah, it's just again another whole science mystery thing, and that leads to the title of this story about Johnny Storm getting choked out by an alien at the end of this issue. I think the narration part of this bit of this issue was fun. I thought it was funny to see it from his perspective. But I really like the characterization of the Fantastic Four in this series. I think he's got a spot on. This writer does a great job of like writing these characters. I feel like, but the stories sometimes leave you wanting. Like, but the nice thing about it is they're all like 1 or 2 issue type stories. So I mean, if this isn't one that's up your alley, then you wait a month or 2, you're on to the next one, right? So
yeah. And even the artist for this, I don't know if the artist is matching the Fantastic Four vibe. Like I love this Carlos Gomez guy. I think I've watched him in a lot of issues. I think he's good, but I don't know if he's right for this.
I would agree with you, actually. Yeah, I think you're right, because I do really like his art, and yeah, I think his talents are a little wasted here, I would say. Yeah, like I mean, the book still looks
Yeah, it
good,
still
but
looks good, but it's I
yeah,
don't know, it's like he had a few panels there before when those things were falling from the sky that kind of hits Reed, and he's almost got that pie face or something.
yeah,
Well, it's good, but it's still not. Fantastic Four is usually a little bit more on the sort of serious side, or more the sci-fi side. Not so much the slapstick.
yeah. He's just not the right fit for this book. That's the case sometimes with a certain artists. Yeah. So, what'd you give this?
I give it 3.5.
I would say that too, 3.5. Yeah. All right. Next up, we got the Ultimates #3 this week, Chris.
Oh, I think I have that one here somewhere.
What'd you think of this?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going into a lot of detail about, or not a lot, but a lot of the story was involved about, I guess, the Hulk or She-Hulk. I think a Hulk that's in this world. Did he like just blow up one of these islands or something?
Yeah.
And kind of just see the fallout from that. It's kind of a bit of a brutal story. This island that they had. I guess they're sort of promised by everything. Oh yeah, don't worry, we're going to do this, do that. We'll fix it up, all done. And they, poof. I get colonialism or something. Maybe that's what they're making a comment on. I don't know,
Maybe.
but yeah, it wasn't my favorite issue either. Like there was good stuff going on here, but I think they spent a lot too much time, on having She-Hulk in there. I'm not happy with the She-Hulk that they have there, and I just want to see him get back into this sort of world, where these villains are kind of getting into things, like 'cause we haven't really seen much of these villains and what they're up to.
I like this issue for the reason you stated. It got really dark all of a sudden. I was like, whoa. As soon as they started showing like all like the mutated freaks of people that live on this island that just, not everybody had the power of the Hulk. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I was just like, that's so brutal. There's one guy where like his whole nervous system is like, he's just a nervous system attached to a brain there. And
yeah, it wasn't like one of the characters. Oh, we can get an army of Hulks here. Great. And she turns out, yeah, this is your army.
this is your army, this deformed guy with like, like a large head.
Yeah, he just got his nerves sticking out. Yeah, when the wind blows, he freaking it's the worst pain you can believe. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, man, it just took a weird turn for me because I was with you like the first like few issues when they're setting all this stuff up. I thought like, oh, the issue's already almost done. I'm like, what the hell? This is like, this is a weird issue, right? Then they explain all this stuff, and then she's like, yeah, if you need my help, then you need to help our community or whatever, and just
Yeah,
and then like. They what's his name there, the leader of the team there is trying to get out of it. And they're like, you did want to help people, you said, right? And he's like, okay, all right, yeah, I'll help you guys. But then, yeah, it turns out, I guess the Hulk is like a bad guy somewhere. And so that's interesting too. Like,
yeah,
and then, yeah, because this is what Tony Stark's son. Yeah. So he's Iron Lad or whatever. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll help your people. But I just thought that was such a sad, dark like moment where they're like, yeah, these are your armies of Hulks. And they're just like all these deformed people of radiation poisoning or something, like gamma poisoning. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm just like, Jesus. Yeah, maybe that is like a comment on other things, but I thought I thought that was a weird moment. So it worked for me that this issue. What'd you give that?
I'll get a 3.75 though. It's still interested in this whole world here.
I'll give it a 4 for how messed up that so honestly, it wasn't that strong of an issue. That just part was just like it just took a left turn, right? Left turn. Whoa, what the hell? All right, next up we got Transformers 11. All right.
Oof.
What'd you think of this, Chris?
I have to remind myself what went on in here, so that could be
It's a good issue.
what's happening.
This is the one where the Devastator shows up and a part of towards the end of it. It's basically continuing the war between the Decepticons and the what do you call it?
Yeah, but it sounds like I think they backed away from the Cybertron being readily available to them. I think so. I think I was happy with that, and there's a lot of
yeah.
I guess just more of what's going on in the Autobot base. I think So yeah, this was, I thought it was a decent issue when I read it. Nothing, I think nothing over the top near the end, except near the end when what's that? The Constructicons seem to get back together. So it's always good to see when they jump or merge up and cause havoc. But
That was,
I still can't believe we still don't have a Megatron here in what 11 issues in.
uh-huh.
That's
They're
crazy.
they're holding on to that. Like that
Yeah,
they're holding on to that for a special moment. There was a tease so far about him, but he hasn't really showed up, right?
yeah.
So
Like the biggest tease has been in like the other Energon
yeah.
comics, and and then he's I guess Optimus Prime still has his gun on his arm. So
This is a really cool issue though, because I honestly like I felt like the last couple of issues, the story is finally, I feel like, headed in an interesting direction. Because I think it kind of it was on a bit of a lull after the first arc that Daniel Warren Johnson wrote Andrew, but I think like towards the end of this arc now it's finally getting interesting, for me at least, and yeah, I really like the moments there with Shockwave and Soundwave there, and basically, he doing his messed up experimentation on people there, Shockwave, and then the Devastator there comes together. All those other bots like form into the big bot, and they have that portal, and Optimus Prime brings backup, but one of his Autobots is so messed up, I guess, from like maybe getting tortured previously by Shockwave, that he just runs away. Like he's just like, "What are you doing?" This guy just like runs off. Like I was like, so I wasn't expecting that, but like these were actually some really sick panels. I thought, like, our pages that he did in this issue, and this whole time I've been hating on the fact that this hasn't been Daniel Warren Johnson, but I think he's coming into his own, this artist now. The last couple of issues have looked really good, I thought. So yeah, that's why I was just excited for those moments in particular. So but yeah, I just needed to get to a more interesting place, because like you said, if a couple more issues where the story wasn't all that great, I may have dropped it. I don't know, but just because everything else has been hitting, I feel like, in the Energon universe stuff, and this kind of hasn't been the last couple of issues. But this and the last issue, I think we're heading in a better direction now. I think.
yeah,
So, what'd you give this?
I'll give it a 3.75. I do still like this Transformers though.
Yeah, 3.75 out of 5. Yeah. Next up, we got X-Men #2. We got our J. Scott Campbell covers for this one. I think Chris got the same one.
I gotta find it though, but that's a great cover.
Yeah, he's going to be doing, I think, the next couple as well. He's doing all like the X-Women on this team. As as he should. J. Scott Campbell doing the Magic cover. This is probably my favorite one so far. I even like this more than the first issue that he did.
Yeah.
Which is Psylocke, actually, which was also a good one, but I like Magic a lot. So what'd you think of this one, Chris?
Yeah, so here we find what's that? Some I guess a new mutant that can whatever, I guess whatever you bends reality or something. They had all those aliens in there. I think they introduced a lot of cool ideas in here, like with Juggernaut when he jumps into that rail gun.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminds me of that the Dominion or the Sins of Sinister or something, where they had Juggernaut just kind of floating through the universe, waiting for that right time just to bash into. I forget who he bashes into, but he bashes into somebody pretty much in the same manner. And the art here is great. Yeah, I can't complain about that one bit. But I don't know. I don't know if Stegman should be doing X-Men.
Really?
I don't think he's right for this.
Oh, I disagree.
So why? Like, I think it's great. Like, it's everything looks good, but just doesn't feel right. Maybe I'm just still stuck in the fucking Jim Lee era or something.
I disagree. I think this is some of the best Stegman art I've seen in some time. I mean, well, you're saying it looks good, but you just don't think he's the right fit. I don't. I disagree. I think I really like the look of this. But I actually think the art is the saving grace of this book so far. Honestly,
so far.
Not to say that it's bad, but it's a slow build and definitely a different type of.
Yeah, but there's still no like arc to this story yet. These are all just sort of single issues, and that's basically what I loved about the X-Men back then. These were all sort of like it was something going on. But here, whatever. This is just more like the whatever. They go find a mutant, take him back, and okay, let's see what happens next week.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't my favorite issue.
Yeah.
But a good looking issue nonetheless.
Yeah, me neither. I will say that. It wasn't my favorite issue. I actually like the first issue more than I like this issue, I'm going to tell you right now. And from what I've also been hearing from other people have some mixed opinions on this series so far as well, right? So I that's why I feel like for me the art has been the highlight, but that being said, I'm sticking with this still. It is the main X-Men book. I do kind of like some of the ideas that Jed McKay has been cooking up so far on this title. I like the team, and I really like Stegman. So I mean, we're probably only gonna get a Stegman like 5 issues, so we'll see who.
Yeah, probably missed him when he's gone.
That's right. Yeah. So
just enjoy him while he's here.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is the flagship X-Men book. You're probably going to get another good artist if he's not on the book, but I guarantee you he won't be on the book for long. He never really is. He's one of those artists I feel like that'll do an arc and then he's on to something else, right? Stegman also going to be at Fan Expo this week. It's this upcoming week. So yeah, maybe check out his table there. Maybe he's going to have some nice prints or something. What'd you give this, Chris?
Yeah. Sorry if he's watching this, buddy, but 3.5.
No, I'll go 3.75 on this. I do. Like I said, it's not my favorite issue either, but I'll give it 3.75 out of 5. Next up, we got Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age, number 3. It's a long title.
Yeah, well, this is a long read too.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Well, I guess there's a couple stories running here. You got the guys up in the, I think they're the Arctic or something, and whatever those millipedes or centipedes come out from the middle of the earth, and Wonder Woman sort of saves them. I kind of like that scene there where Wonder Woman's kind of communicating with them, and you get a lot of history of what happened to the Amazons, and how they all retreated to the center of the earth or something like that, except for Wonder Woman and a crew of her, I guess, pals there, and she's the only one that made it out. And, that's a decent story running through there. And then the other story, of course, is what's going on in Gotham. And, you get this guy. I like how they kind of drew him to make it look like that he was in disguise. You could almost see his hair hiding from underneath.
Yeah.
And, I guess that didn't fool Selena Kyle one bit.
Yeah.
And, but there's some good conversation or some banter between them. It's always fun to see, whatever Batman and Catwoman kind of converse, especially when they're sort of not on the same side yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something about a Green Lantern ring that's floating around in this story too.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of good things in here. So it's interesting stuff.
It is there, but there is a lot of things going on, and I've wished that there was less things going on and more of a focus on the Batman side of things in this series. But yet they're establishing so many things.
And there's stuff about Krypton too, like.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's Batman Gotham by Gaslight, and they keep saying it's about the Kryptonian Age, yet they're introducing all these other things now to the storyline and focusing on different characters like Wonder Woman, and now there's a Green Lanterns thing going on. So and it's a 12-issue series, so it's very ambitious. I'm liking what I'm reading, but I'm also, I hate to say it, but this has been on the chopping block, and it's been chopped with this issue, just because I think if I really enjoy this, I'm going to probably continue reading this digitally and talking about it on the show. I might just pick up the collection, but for me to read this by issues, month by month, it's not doing it for me in that regard, because there's so much going on in this series, right? It seems like, and it might just read better in a big chunk. So we'll see. I might just read it digitally. I don't think I need to pick up and there's also a flood of new titles coming out in coming months. So I'm trying to cut a few things.
Yeah, if something has to be cut, this is definitely one of them. I think I've cut this. I'm not sure if I'm getting this issue or not either. But
not bad. I mean, it's certainly not bad. There is a lot of interesting things going on. I do think the Elseworlds return has been strong. I mean, like we just talked about DC versus Vampires earlier. Batman Barbarian comes out in a couple weeks, I think. We talked about Dark Knights of Steel returning like this. There's been some good stuff, I think, some good offerings from the DC Elseworld stuff, right? So what'd you give this?
I'll give it a 3.75.
I'll go 3.5 on this one this week. Yeah. All right, Chris. Next up, we got Venom number 36. Sorry, 36, which is I guess the tie-in now with this Venom War stuff going on.
Yeah. Venom there, nice homage cover. You got the old man Dylan there with Spider-Man on his cross sights, kind of bring it back to the days of Punisher.
Yeah.
And this one starts out pretty strong. It starts out with I guess Dylan and his old man Dylan, his original timeline, and you see a lot of characters. that you don't expect to see. I think, well, a bunch of Liz Allens, and I think what Dylan Brock might be there, Normie or Norman Osborn, he's there. But then one Spider-Man shows up, and it turns out to be Bailey Briggs, which I thought it's a kind of, I was following that Spider-Boy story in the beginning. I've kind of dropped off that, but it's nice to see him that they kind of brought him into this universe or in this world. And, he's like whatever, I don't know, an adult Spider-Man in there. So that was pretty good.
Mhm.
But then it falls back into his regular world. And, I'm not sure what the heck's going on there again, which is, par for the course for these Venom stories. And, somehow Spider-Man's in the sights at the end. So not the greatest, but, some good stuff in here, though, that I liked at least.
I did too. I read this as well, just because I've been jumping in for this event after reading the first issue last week we talked about. And like I said, I've been following Venom really, like Chris has been, but this kind of reminded me, it had like a Terminator feel to it, let's say at times, definitely, so in which, or I was gonna say Cable, which is basically Terminator anyways. So like, it definitely has that vibe going for it, with people coming from the future trying to save, like, you know what I mean?
Save the past or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So I dig that. I dig that as an idea, as a story, right? So I enjoyed this. I think this event, and it's definitely, it did feel, while as part of the event, kind of something outside of the event at the same time. Like, I thought this was like a good focus on what's happening with these characters that also end up being part of the event. And then at the end of this issue, we get Spider-Man showing up, and the next book we're going to talk about focuses on him. And so I think it's all kind of blending together pretty good, I think, within the last couple of weeks of this of these tie-ins coming out so far. I'm not going to be reading them all. These are probably the only ones I'll probably be reading that we're going to be talking about here today, as well as the event. But there's a bunch of, I think there's other ones too, right? There's a whole bunch.
There's a ton of them. I'm not getting to all of them.
Me neither, but this was fun. What'd you give this?
No, I give it a 3.75. I like this one.
I'll go 3.5 out of 5 on this one. Venom War, Spider-Man #1, Colin and Jackson Lansing, and your boy Greg Land. Yeah.
What kind of freaking cover is this? Come on, Mr. Land.
Well, that's, I think he copied and pasted a look from.
I don't want to see what would be going on the bottom there. It was from the photo he picked it from.
I think that's from a porn called.
Oh yeah, it reminds me of something I've seen on. Anyways,
it's a conversation for another time. All right, what'd you think of this?
I don't know. The story had everything I freaking wanted, man.
Yeah,
got Greg Land there with the art. I thought the art was great here.
It was.
The Venom and Peter Parker. They're coming together. They're talking like old pals, and I thought that was great. And then even Venom's the Venom symbiote. He's like, oh, what the heck's going on there, Peter? Something's wrong. He's like, don't worry, I'm fine, whatever. And they're, doing whatever they do. And then freaking out of the blue, they show up, I got a friend here, and it's freaking, Jackpot. The first time I've actually liked seeing Jackpot in the story. It's just like freaking running, hitting all cylinders. I should love this thing. And then while I'm reading this or whatever, after I finished reading it, I only like this because I'm stupid. It's just, it just hits all the things that I want, but none of them are ever going to happen. And it's just dumb. But I loved it anyways. But I can't give a good score.
Oh, sorry. So
I don't know why. I'm just raw.
I'm so confused by this. You're mad because you think it's trash and that you enjoyed? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's trash, but I enjoyed it so much.
Listen.
All this stuff that's going on there, like even the Venom, like once Mary Jane shows or whatever, Jackpot shows up, and Venom's like, what? Well, what's going on here?
No,
and then he goes, now I see what's going on. And then he's like, well, shut up, buddy, don't worry. And then, at the end, there's like some Clintar, I don't know, freaking monster, and then they'll have to fully bond. Just great stuff all around, but it's going to be trash, I know.
No, listen.
I don't want to even fall for that trap.
I liked it too. I enjoyed it. I agree with you. You know what I'll say though, like the Greg Land art, even though I hate on him, it looked good in this issue, but it was so predictable. They definitely were playing with, like, hitting all the notes of, like you said, all these moments for Spider-Man that they know that people would enjoy. They're playing the hits. Like, there's all these, like, half the issue is just splash pages of him in cool poses. Like, there's a whole scene where he does like a crazy backflip drop, and then, like, whenever they introduce somebody, it's literally just a full splash page of them like showing up, like, there's Jackpot, and then you get a page of just Jackpot. So, like, it definitely does. You're right. I get what you're saying about it being like trash, but guess what? Sometimes I enjoy a bad movie. You know what I mean?
They're not fooling me this time. No, sirree. 3.5. That's all I can give it. And then Meridius or whatever, he's like the freaking. It's good stuff all around.
I'm so confused by your rating on this one.
No way. I've fallen for that trap.
You know what I will say about the intro of this issue too? It was funny because it was like almost like he was being sexual with the suit. Did you feel that way? Because he was like, "Hey, it's good being back, buddy." I was like, "What's going on here?" No, I'll follow suit though. I'll also give it. No, I'd give it maybe even a 3.75. I thought it was fun. I thought, like you said,
it's a prop.
It's good trash. Listen, I'm the one that told you about Greg Land. You're like, wow, this Greg Land guy's great. I'm like, I don't know. All right. Finally, Amazing Spider-Man number 55 here this week as we go into the final few issues of Zeb Wells' run.
Now, great cover here that has nothing to do with the issue.
That's fine. What'd you think?
I don't know.
What?
Come on.
Loved this issue. Loved it.
Loved it. Yeah, see, that's why I'm a freaking sucker. I don't want to see Peter Parker doing whatever he's doing there with his new girlfriend. Why are these two even together? I don't even know where this girl came from. Was this back in the freaking Ravencroft days or something? But, and then I liked when he went out to just talk to those guys after. It's like, look, guys.
With no shoes on.
Yeah. Like, enough with this Parker luck stuff, okay? Like, all that stuff that, whatever she's freaking giving the gears about, all of that's true. And, come on, buddy. Time for you to grow up there. But anyways.
This is what I wanted from a fucking Zeb Wells Spider-Man, though. This is when he knows, like, this is a good example of him getting the character, though. Like you said, the Parker stuff. Why is this woman interested in him? No one knows, yet he continuously messes things up because he's Spider-Man. It's going to continue to happen. I just think this got the character and it got Peter Parker as a person and the predicament that he's in being Spider-Man. And I just thought it was perfect. I honestly thought this was a great issue. You didn't like this, eh? Interesting.
But you didn't try hard for her when you couldn't try hard for anybody else. Come on. Could have been with Black Cat there. He could have freaking put the effort out.
This isn't gonna last, but like that's this. I mean, listen, that's the character, but like an examination of this process and this issue of what happens, what he has to go through time and time again to meet anybody new. Like whatever. I probably are never going to see this chick again, but it was, I think, a good single issue to kind of let you know about, like, what he has to deal with. Like the fact that he showed up beat up with a black eye, with no shoes, went to a date with like a very good looking woman who somehow is interested in him after being stood up twice. I don't know what's like. And then even within that moment, after saying like, I really want to try this time, 2 seconds later, he's like, I got to go. Like,
yeah.
I think it was just a good issue demonstrating that's what what happens to the character constantly.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Not for you. I don't know. These last couple of ratings are very weird on your part. You praised the last book, give it a bad rating. so rated. This book, you're like, I thought this would be the type of thing you want to see from a Spider-Man book, but apparently not. I love this issue. I thought it was great.
But I did like when he's going out just talking to those guys there, just freaking guys, come on, give me a break here, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just go.
Then she tries to show Rhino how to make a dating profile for himself.
Yeah.
So that was fun. All right. What'd you give this then?
I'll give it a 3.75.
5.
Jesus.
Fantastic issue. Fantastic.
You said you had all these fives. I went back and reread some stories here. Go, what the heck fives am I missing?
I gave 2 5s here today. X Factor and Spider-Man.
Wow.
That's it. Good stuff.
Good for you.
I gotta bring up the show somehow, right? We can't have all your weird comments. I'm a big trash that you love. I don't know. See, I embrace the trash, Chris. I'm like, yeah.
All
right. That's gonna do it for the books we want to talk about this week, guys. But there's something I forgot to mention at the top of the show. We are going to be checking out the November 2024 DC solicitations. So let's bring that up on the screen here for you guys. DC and Image is what we're looking at today. I'm sure Marvel will be out by the next time we chat. So look forward to that.
DC's freaking coming in strong.
They are. They really are. But that's usually what happens. And then a few months later, Marvel will come through with a new slate of titles and be like, take that. Right. So we'll see.
Nope.
It's a tale as old as time, this battle between these two companies. Right. All right. Here we go. Shout out to comicreleases.com, the site we normally show off the solicitations on. Not affiliated with them, but I just think they put it together, do a good job.
I know. Did you hear about this the Black Canary miniseries that's coming out?
I did, yeah.
Well, that sounds interesting.
I'm gonna be picking it up. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm all on that.
I will be checking that out. So here we go. This is new DC all-ins #1s here. Justice League Unlimited #1, which I shared with Chris the other day. I didn't actually even hear about this announcement when it was originally made. I'm in 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Finally, Mark Waid and Dan Warren, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Just based off that, I'm in. But at the same time, it's like also this is the return of finally a Justice League for whatever reason we didn't have one for a year. So here we are, and guess who's bringing it back? This team? Yeah, I am so on board. I am so on board for this one. So it looks like it's a big team. Yeah, I'm in 110% on this. I mean, this is the same team that brought us World's Finest and are doing a good event right now. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in this. Justice League Unlimited #1. Yeah, we're both in for this. Absolutely. Which cover though, man? There's a lot of good covers here. I do like the Mora one though. I will say I do like this one.
Well, it's a good thing when you do when you get the DC covers. You can pay that extra $1, get a good cover, and you still get the cover A inside.
Yeah, this one too. This is a nice one. Is this an exclusive one though, or I don't know? That one's nice. If that's like a 1 in 25, I'm not getting it, but we'll see. Batgirl #1.
I might pass on that, but there's a nice art germ there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I really like Cassandra Cain. Like that's actually my favorite Batgirl. That's a hot take possibly for some people. I really like this character though. So maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be. I might check out the trade. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get the first issue for the art germ cover, but I don't know if I'm gonna. There's a lot going on right now, so I got to make the cut somewhere. Black Lightning #1. No, I don't think so. That's a cool cover right here, though. Wow, nice cover. JSA #1 by Jeff Lemire. Yes. Chris?
I'll have to read this one, but I might be out of that.
Okay.
I'll find it. Fuck, Jeff
Lemire. Oh, yeah, this is the cover. Is this an exclusive? Let me see this. Is this? No, it isn't. Yes, definitely getting this variant by Jeff Lemire. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I mean, this is JSA, of course, much different team than JLA in the sense that they're more legacy type characters, like older ones, but I think he's going to do a good job of that. So as someone who read all of his Black Hammer, I think he's going to be a good fit for this. So yeah, I'm totally on board for that. Here's the aforementioned Black Canary Best of the Best here that Chris mentioned by Tom King, Ryan Sook 6-issue miniseries. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm down for this.
Ryan Sook is a really good artist too, and he doesn't work a lot. Like he doesn't do a lot of interiors. So yeah, I'm really here's his cover, which is great, but this is also a really good cover. Which one are you going for?
I might get that Nakayama or even just that A cover though. That A cover is pretty sweet.
Yeah. This one's cool. A different black. Is that Al Schmidt? Yeah. Chrissy Zulo. Yeah. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, I'm definitely in on this one. The Question all along the Watchtower #1. I don't even know about this book. Huh. I like the question, but again, I'll wait for the trade for this one if I hear it's good.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, Renee Montoya question, which Greg Rucka created that character. She used to be part of the Gotham police force, and now she's the question. So, yeah. The Penguin special #1. I guess they're doing a special, to promote the new HBO Max show. Yeah. Okay. This is a bunch of reprints, so I'm going to pass. I will say, though, it looks like Jason Aaron's Penguin story is in this. That is a really good story. This is old stuff, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Joker's Asylum Penguin #1. That's the only DC story that Jason Aaron wrote until recently, until now that he's not Marvel exclusive. That was around the time he was trying to I think he was doing a Vertigo series scalped for DC and before he got Marvel exclusive. So that's a really good one-shot story, but maybe not worth buying this whole issue. It's like $6, but it was good. I did like that one. All right, then we got Absolute Batman #2. Yes. I've been, this cover. I saw this online. Oh man, this Daniel Warren Johnson cover. Yes, I'm getting that. Oh man, I've been seeing him post some art for this. This looks great. Yeah, I'm very, very much in on this one. Absolute Superman #1. Speaking of Jason Aaron, yes, yeah. Absolute Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah, probably in on this for a bit.
Yeah, same. That's pretty sick. I seen a picture of this sword. I didn't even know that was a thing. So that's interesting. I don't know what that's all about, but that looks cool. Batman Office. We got Detective Comics 1091 now with Tom Taylor. So yes. Man,
I'll start reading it again, but we'll see.
Yeah, DC's killing it. Well, we'll see. I mean, these announcements all sound exciting. We'll see if they all pay off, right? But Batman 155, yes.
Yeah.
Cool covers here. Batman 156, yeah. Tony Daniel drawing these ones, so that'll be nice. Batman Uncovered, no. Batman Offworld 6. This series has been delayed again. It was supposed to come out this week, didn't come out.
Yeah.
Freaking Doug Monkey. The last 2 books he did were super delayed like that. But yes, I'm picking this up whenever it does come out. It's been good. Catwoman 70. You still in on this?
I'm getting those Frank Cho covers. I think those are awesome.
Right here, yeah.
Ones, yeah.
Yeah, he he does all these mostly with ballpoint pen.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I next time you're over, I'll show you. I have an art book of his that he does. It's all ballpoint pen drawings. Really cool stuff. Nightwing 120. No, I'm off the book now, but it's been fun. So far, so good in the last arc by Tom Taylor. But I'm gonna take a break from Nightwing. Harley Quinn 45. Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'll get back in here, see what the new team does.
Oh, nice cover. That's a cool cover. I like that one. Yeah, nice covers. Yeah, they're all really good. Poison Ivy 27. No. That's a nice cover too. I don't know. I may have missed the boat on this series. It's a pretty popular series, eh?
No, it's not bad.
Yeah. Batman and Robin #15. Now it's Joshua Williamson left the book. Now it's Philip Kennedy Johnson. I'm still not going to read it, but changing the. What is that? The Miss Frankenstein chick? Yeah, it is. That's his wife. That's really cool. That's Frankenstein, Agent of Shade's wife, the Creature Commandos. Oh, that's cool. I guess they're doing stuff because that's going to be an animated
maybe
series.
For this November here. Or?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Batman the Brave and the Bold #19. No. What else we got here? Birds of Prey 15. Yes. What else? Okay, that's all right. Not bad. All right. Next up, we got Superman Office, Superman 20. No.
Yeah, I'll see what's going on here. I don't know about this. Superman's been okay so far.
It has been. Yeah, it has been. Wonder Woman 15. Yes. Oh, that's a good DNA cover. A lot of good DNA covers this one, eh? David Nakayama. Action Comics 1074.
I think they just went weekly again. Fuck, come on. They trying to freaking get some numbers to reach some sort of milestone sooner or something?
Sometimes that's the case, yeah. It looks like Mark Waid's writing one of the stories in this one, though, so that's cool. He does do a good Superman. Action Comics 1075 and 76, like you said, weekly. Oh, Mark Waid's doing all the stories in this one. Oh, there's another Creature Commandos cover. Huh. That's pretty cool. Are they just doing a Creature Commandos type month here? I guess maybe it's to promote the new animated series that's coming out, or movie, or whatever it is. Titan 17 with John Layman writing it now. No, I think I'm still out on that. Green Lantern 17, Green Arrow 18. Another new writer on this, Joshua Williamson left. They shuffled a bunch of people around here.
Yeah.
The Flash 15. When's Lemire's Flash starting?
Maybe it's a little further down the road.
Is that
announced a lot after the?
They did announce a lot. Is his Flash though the absolute Flash?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Shazam 17. Power Girl 15. You in on this one?
Yeah. Let's see what these covers look like. I think maybe that's a sweet cover. That one's not too bad either.
Some good ones, yeah. Batman Superman World's Finest 33. Yes. We'll mourn the loss of Dan Mora, but I am continuing with the series. Oh, that's a nice cover. I like that one, actually. That's really cool. See the night and day Superman, Batman kind of thing. Yeah, it's very cool. Whoever that is, I'll get that one. That's nice. Other series, Batman and Robin Year 1, number 2. Yes. Again, 100 times yes. Mark Waid and Chris Samnee. That's a team that works for me. Mark Russell, who wrote that fantastic first issue of X Factor, Dark Age number 6.
I think I'll pass.
Last issue of this one, so yeah, I'm picking that up. Batman: The Long Halloween, the last Halloween number 3. This issue has art by Mark Chiarello because there's a different artist on each issue. Yes.
Yeah, I'm probably missing out, but I'll try and read it.
Batman 89 Echoes, no. Multiversus, Collision Detected 5, no. And 6. DC Horror Presents, no. Oh, there you go. Yeah, because there's a Creature Commando series out right now. Yeah, I think it's because they're amping up for that thing.
Yeah.
My Adventures with Superman number 6, no. What? Batman Santa Claus Silent Night Returns.
Oh, you didn't hear that, eh?
No.
It's like a 5-issue series this time or something.
Oh, that was a delight last year. I'm in for sure. I did like that. We both liked it. That was that was unexpectedly good. Oh, watch out. Santa Claus Thirst Trap. Oh, yeah, I'm in on this for sure. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So I guess maybe there's only going to be one in November and then the rest in December, probably weekly.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. Or unless it's going to go past Christmas. But all right. Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age 6. As I mentioned, I'm dropping that, but probably will keep reading it. It's been all right. Dark Knights of Steel All Winter number 5. I am buying this, but I don't know. It's been delayed, the second issue, so maybe I'll drop it. I don't know. I need another issue to determine whether or not I'm dropping it. I did like it though, but it's definitely seems like it's a side story outside of the main story. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Yeah. DC versus Vampires World War V4. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the cover there for sure.
Yeah. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, that's the cover. Oh, the Spectre's on this one. That's pretty cool too. Yeah. But you get that if you get this cover. So I'm in on that. Milestone Universe, the Shadow Cabinet number 1. No. Black Label, Plastic Man No More number 3. Yes. Yeah. Batman Full Moon number 2. No. John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America 11. I'm waiting for the trade. This last issue looks like, that may be a big spoiler. It looks like Dream shows up in this from Sandman, so that's cool. Jenny Sparks number 4. I'm gonna be reading this. I don't think I'm picking up the issues, but
yeah, this looks interesting. I might try and read it too.
It does, yeah. Nice House by the Sea again. Really looking forward to this when it's collected. Good stuff. Facsimiles and other media, and that's it. That's it for this one. And let's take a look quickly at the image. The image one here. This one's just off of Bleeding Cool, which is not a great site, but it's the only one that has the image ones up so far. So use that site here. It's gonna be 1,000 pop-ups. All right. You see? Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it looks like the G.I. Joe book's launching this month.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a big deal. Okay.
Nice covers for that too, I think. The nice Baroness cover.
Yeah.
And there's a nice there's a nice sort of a Cobra cover for it too. Instead of having all the G.I. Joe people, it's all the Cobras back there. That's a nice cover.
Nice. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn, #1. Jimmy Palmiotti. He's good. I don't think I'm gonna be checking this out. You?
No.
Okay. And that's a graphic novel there, that first one. G.I. Joe #1. Yeah, let's take a look at some of the covers here. Yeah, some good Baroness covers. You weren't joking. Very cool. Very cool. David Nakayama, 1 in 10 connecting incentive. Jeff Spokes did one. Okay, so those are and these are all the Joes on this one. Jerome Pena. Wow, some good artists did some covers for this series. This is a big launch for them. This is a $5.99 for the wraparound, which I'll probably end up getting. And yeah, really looking forward to this. I think Joshua Williamson did a great mini series with Duke. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. Very cool. You're in on that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hornsby and Halo, I guess, is the newest book out of Ghost Machine. I don't know what the heck this is. Peter Tomasi. I like the team, though, Peter Tomasi and Peter Snyberg, but I don't know about this book. But good versus evil from the mind. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Sweet Paprika. Rock. Oh, here's the other book that was teased out of the Ghost Machine, out of that book where they showed like a bunch of different titles that they had planned. Another Peter Tomasi book, the Rocket Fellers. I don't know about some of these, man. I think they're stretching themselves too thin here with all these series. I mean, I know it's Jeff John, but here's the thing: there's good people on these books, though. They have good artists, they have good writers. Some of these ideas seem a little half baked to me. I don't know. Moondogs, the Horizon Experiment one shot. No. The Sacrificers 12. Yes. Yeah, for sure. You still in on Sacrificers?
I might be dropping it, but I'll definitely keep on reading it.
Okay. Savage Dragon 275. Prisoner of the Reds. Wow, 275. Congrats to Eric Larson. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Stoneheart #7. Walking Dead Deluxe 100, which is a big issue, as you can see if you read it the first time around. Maybe we should do another trade talk at some point, Chris. Read some more Walking Dead. That was fun.
Yeah.
You know, the episode where you yelled at me because you thought I was taking Cal 1964, Convert #4, Creepshow Volume 3 #3. Yes. Oh yeah, look at this cover. That's sick. That's like a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man one with that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I see that in the corner.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, definitely get that. Oh, what the hell happened here? See, that's why I don't like this this website. What else we got here? Dead Eyes, The Empty Frames #3. Yeah, definitely gonna be reading that online. I'll probably pick up the trade. I have the first series in trade. Jerry Duggan miniseries he did years ago. The Domain #5. Drawing Blood 8 of 12. Yep, absolutely gonna pick that up. Falling in Love in the Path to Hell. I like in this series, but I don't know if it's gonna be something I trade weight. We'll see. Feral, Free Agents. G.I. Joe. This is the, what do you call it? Larry Hama, G.I. Joe, Geiger, #8. Definitely going to be reading that. Grommets, #6 of 7. Yes, for sure. Gunslinger Spawn, Hack Slash Body Bags. Hyde Street, another of these Ghost Machine series that I'm not really interested in. I Hate Fairyland 17. I read that in trade. Ice Cream Man. I also read in trade. This is a really interesting series, though. Kea. Yeah, definitely going to pick that up. King Spawn. Knights versus Samurai. Lady Mechanica. The Moon is Following Us. Yes, definitely going to be reading this, picking this up. Daniel Warren Johnson, Riley Rossmo. Napalm Lullaby. I dropped that now, but I'm going to pick up the trade. Null Hunter. The Power Fantasy. Any of this, Chris?
No.
Public Domain #10. Yeah. This might be another end to this series. We'll see. I think they went for 5 issues the first time, but that's been good. Rogue Sun, Saga, Sam and Twitch, Case Files, The Scorch. You still reading The Scorch, I think, right?
No, I might be out of it for a while.
Spawn kills every spawn. Another one of those things. Stand Still, Tin Can, Transformers. That's a really cool cover. It looks like Daniel Warren Johnson is continuing to write it despite only being signed on for the first 12. They must have re-signed him for more. Jason Howard's going to be the artist on this. So I guess with issue 13, I think they're switching over. Ultra Mega. Yes. Yeah. That's going to be great. Frankenstein by Michael Walsh. Yes. Violator. I always like the look of Violator. Void Rivals 14. Yes. This has been great.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't see any Local Man in there, you know?
I must be on break this month because sometimes, they take a month or two off. I don't think it's coming to an end as far as I know. So, yeah, no Local Man that time. And then these are just collections now. So, all right. All right, good stuff. And look forward to us talking about Marvel and whatever else next time. But that's what we're looking forward to. Some of the things we're looking forward to picking up in November. But yeah, some great DC stuff coming down the pipe there. All right, Chris, what are you looking forward to reading next week?
We'll bring some of that stuff up now and I'll see what we got. Ooh, music. What the heck? Let's see. So for next week, that's August 21st. We got definitely Ultimate Spider-Man 8. Well, Fantastic Four is out again next week. Wow. The Wolverine Revenge, looking forward to that for sure. Got Fury 4, definitely going to read that. Phoenix 2, probably read that. I don't think I bought it. Well, that's it. I thought there'd be more from Marvel. Let's see what we got for DC. Got Nightwing 117. I think I might be back in on World's Finest. Maybe Superman 17, Wonder Woman 12. I'll read Gotham City Sirens. I guess I'm freaking stuck reading that, though. And so, yeah, I guess a couple more to read is the Dark Knights and Jenny Sparks. And let's see if there's anything on Edge. Destro 3. I think I got Local Man 13. I'm not sure if I got Witchblade 2, though, either. But I'll probably be dropping that if I didn't. It looks like that's about it.
Yeah, next week I got Batman, Superman, World's Finest, Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter, Destro, Get Fury number 4, Gotham City Sirens number 3. Hey, at least you didn't end up buying them. I am. Namor number 2. Nightwing 117, which I think that's the penultimate issue. I think it's the second last issue.
More after this.
Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. Wolverine Revenge Red Band next week. Yep. Oh man, can't wait for that. That's gonna be a crazy episode post-con with some of these releases. It's gonna be good stuff. Wonder Woman number 12. And then yeah, some things I'm reading digitally, I think. I'll just quick look here. Let's see. Nightclub comes back for Mark Millar.
Ooh.
Nightclub 2 comes out next week. So yeah, I'll definitely read that one. What else here? Just looking at DC, see if there's anything else from them that I was reading digitally. I don't think so. I think that's it for them. And then Image. If Local Man does come out, I'll definitely be reading that. Yeah, that 13. Yeah, so I'll read that. I think that's it for them, though. Image, and then finally Marvel. No, I'm not gonna be reading Phoenix. I might check out this Predator versus Black Panther. I'm semi-interested to check that out. We'll see if it's, in terms of time and how big of a week it's going to be. We'll see about that one, but I am interested in the Predator part of that. It is Ben Percy again. I don't know. He's either, very crap or not. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, okay. I think that's about it, though. There's not too much else, I don't think, there, even digitally I'm reading. So, all right. So look forward to that. All right, Chris, your favorite book of the week this week.
Might be a controversial pick, but Spider-Man Venom War.
I think you're just trying to save face by saying it was trash. You loved it. You can tell how
I
much.
did love it. It's a trap.
Yeah. This guy. All right. Well, it's okay. The book I'm giving mine to is one you didn't like that much. So X Factor #1. And I quote, which was just not for me, which is fine. Not for me, not for me, but for Chris. Apparently he likes trashy comics like the Spider-Man, fucking black suit Spider-Man drawn by Greg Land over there. I like satirical, crappy X Factor team comic.
Yeah.
But yes, okay, that's gonna do it for this week of Comic Shop Talk. Yeah, maybe we'll have to work something out maybe next week. Maybe we'll try to parlay this show in person together or something post.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, maybe even do a Friday night show or something.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. We'll figure it out. So enjoy the week, everybody. We'll see you next week here. Probably plenty of fun things to talk about then, and more solicitations, possibly new comics, bunch of great stuff, guys. So we'll see you next week. Thank you to Chris, and thanks.
All right. Thank you. Cheers.
Later.